Hello there, it's Mr. Payton. How are you? We're going to do a little help video for 3.07 area of triangles 2. I figured I would work out the on your own questions. Let me flip this thing around. Okay, here we are, the first question in the on your own section of practice, the on your own page of the practice section of this lesson. What's the area of the figure? So yeah, these are not the easiest questions. I mean, you have to add some areas together. It's not just area of triangles. I look at this shape, I see a rectangle along the bottom, and I see two triangles. So let's first do the area of the rectangle. Little picture of a rectangle for you. That's just going to be base times height. We need a base, we need a height. It's 45 by 3, it looks like. So that area is going to be 45 times 3. That will be 135, right? 45 times 3. Yeah, 135. So area for the little rectangle there at the bottom of this figure is 135 yards squared. And I see two triangles. So let's start with the big one here. This one says 27 yards right there. So the area of a triangle will be 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2. Let's look at it this way. So 27, they're saying that is how far the base extends here. And the height looks to be that 16 yards. Sitting next to that dotted line, we could assume that's 16 yards. But what about up there? That's an extra 2 yards. That 16 yards is only from here to here. So we would have to add that extra 2 yards. That makes a height of 18 yards. So my area of this triangle is going to be base, which is 27, times height, which is 18. Divide that all by 2. Now, I look for as many shortcuts as possible when doing work like this, okay? I see 18 over 2 here. Guess what? 18 divided by 2 is just going to be 9, right? So isn't this the same as 27 times 9? I believe it is. So let's do that multiplication. What is 9 times 27? Well, 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 2 is 18. Plus 6, 24. We get 243. So 243 yards squared. Now let's look at our last triangle. This triangle, that 16 yards will be the height. That'll be the height. Let's get a different color for this one. So we'll say area of that triangle is going to be still base times height over 2. I'm going to use, what's my base? Wow, I know it's 45. From one end of this thing to the other is 45. And then it's 27 for the base of that triangle. Isn't what's left over the remaining base? To find the base for this, we need to do 45 minus 27. So what's 45 minus 27? Okay, let's make that a 3. What's that? 8. 3 minus 18. So 27, 37, 40. Yeah, 18. Should be 18 there. So that's going to be 18. My line right there. 18 yards. 18 yards for the base. Height of 16 yards. And divide that by 2. Now I could multiply 18 times 16, then divide by 2, but I could also just do 18 over 2 again like I did with that last one, or I could even do 16 divided by 2. 18 divided by 2 gets me 9. So this is essentially 9 times 16. And what's 9 times 16 going to be? Let me do that work. Let me just do that right here. 1/6 times 9. So let's see here. 9 times 6 is 54. Then 9 makes 14, so 144 yards squared. So now I have three numbers, three different areas: 135, 243, and 144. Three different areas that I calculated. The rectangle along the bottom and the two triangles. Let's add them all up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 522 yards squared. Let's see if that's it. Check your answer. Bingo! And they'll give you a full explanation here when you get the correct answer. It should look pretty similar to what I just did. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right, here we are in the next one. I accidentally hit the wrong button and had to go back. It's another area problem. Hey, find the area of this figure. Now, you might be wondering, why is this even in here for studying area of rectangle or area of triangles, right? And you would have a good point. This area of triangles 2 lesson is really more of a area of composite shapes lesson. But these can be a lot of fun. Let's get back into this and do a new page. You have some options on how you cut this thing up. Okay, so I think what I would like to do, how about I do two, and these should be identical. These should be identical rectangles if I cut it up like that. We have a base and a height right there, 5 and 21. So let me just figure out the area of those first. Area of a rectangle is base times height. It's just going to be 5 times 21. Or it doesn't matter what you call the base and what you call the height. Let's just do 21 times 5. Okay, so what's 21 times 5? 20 times 5 is 100. 1 times 5 is 5, so this is going to be 105 feet squared. But there's two of them, right? Two of them. Let's add another 105. That's going to be 210 feet squared for those two purple guys, purpley pink guys there. Now the Sherlock Holmes part of the problem. How do we figure out the area of this? The way I cut it leaves us with this little rectangle right here. Okay, so they give us some other numbers here. Look, 18. This 18 feet is supposed to represent this side here. We didn't use it for the two vertical looking rectangles at all because we extended the side down here to make it 21 just like the right side. But 21 minus 18 will give you the difference, right? The size of this side here in the light blue, that'll just be 21 minus 18 feet. So 3 feet. That's going to be 3 feet right there, which means this side's also 3 feet. Let me put a little 3 and a 3 there, right? Because 18, 19, 20, 21, right? It would add back up to 21. Now, you might think, oh, this is just going to be 3 times 25, but remember the 25 is actually that whole length along the bottom. So we need to subtract away the 5 feet here. If the top is 5 foot, the bottom is as well. Remember, parallel sides are congruent. They have the same dimensions, the same measurement with parallelograms like these rectangles. So that's going to be 5 and that's going to be 5. We need to subtract those two lengths of 5 away from the 25. We want to do 25 minus 5 minus another 5. That's going to bring us to 15. So my dimensions are going to be 3 and 15 for the little the rectangle that I carved out on the bottom there. So area of parallelogram is base times height, 15 times 3, which is going to be 45. And now that's 45 feet squared. So to summarize, this big one was 105. This big one was 105. Oops. 105. And we came up with 45 for this. We already added the two 105s right there to get 210. Let's tack on 45. 255. We should get 255 feet squared. Let's double check it with the computer. Yes. All right. Interestingly though, look, they did it a little bit differently. They did 5 times 18 to get 90, 25 times 3. Look, if you look at this, we could have cut it out a couple different ways. I don't really want to solve this in a completely different way. I want to move on to another one for this video. But I could have made one big rectangle along the bottom like that, which would make that smaller and this smaller, but the bottom one would be bigger. But I just chose to do it the other way. You have some options with some of these. Let's look at another one. I like this one because we have a lot of measurements. Now this looks like a trapezoid. We could use the area of trapezoids formula that we're going to learn on February 2nd, but we don't have that yet as I'm making this video. So just like with any trapezoid, you can cut it up into a rectangle and triangles. Here it looks like a perfect square in the middle. Check out the middle. I don't want to cover that up. That's 6 inches for the dotted line and 6 inches across the top. That means this distance along the bottom will also be 6 from here to here. The area of that square in the middle is just going to be base times height. You'll see there's different versions of the formula for area of square. If you do have a perfect square, you could also say length times width. You could also say the side squared. You'll see that, like one of the side lengths times itself. But we could just use the good old parallelogram formula, base times height. It's going to be 6 times 6, which is going to be 36 inches squared for our square. So that square is 36. Now it has looks like two identical triangles. So all we have to do is find the area of one of them and double it. They're giving us this measurement 10 inches. I don't think we're going to use it. Remember, if you're going to use, you can use theoretically any side of a triangle to get its area, but it must have a height measurement to go along with it. We cannot use the 10 inches unless we had a dotted line that kind of shows us how far it would be from that side to its opposite vertex. So let's not use 10 inches. We have a base of 8 inches. 8 inches is labeled on both of these as the bottom. So let's do the area formula is a base times height over 2. Well, okay, so we have an 8-inch base, and what's going to be the height? Well, it shares that side with the square. The height is going to be 6. So I'm going to do area as, I'll just write it 8 times 6 over 2. 8. I could take a shortcut here. Here, let me show you how useful this shortcut can be. Isn't 8 divided by 2 is just going to be 4, right? So this is going to be 4 times 6. which is 24 inches squared. If I don't do that, let me back it up here. If I don't do that shortcut and just do 6 times 8 to make 48, and then divide by 2, well, 48 divided by 2 is also 24. Right? So either way you do it, you should get 24. Even if you set up the formula as 1/2 times base times height, you should get 24. Doing it like that would be 1/2 times 8 times 6. 1/2 of 8, yeah, makes 4. 4 times 6 is 24. So there's 2 of them though. So we kind of go back to the 48. But we're not getting it in this. We're getting 24 inches squared per triangle, but there's 2 of them. So let's add another 24 to get back to 48 for both triangles. 24 and another 24. Sorry about the light colors here. 24 and then another 24 to make 48. So to sum it all up, we want to do 36 plus 48. 6 plus 8 is going to be 14. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 should get 84 inches squared as a grand total of the area of the whole figure. Let's double check it. Wait, I just forgot what I got. 84. I want to keep this help video down to 20 minutes, so we'll probably just do one more. Boom, we got it. All right, 84. They don't show too much work for this one, unfortunately. Let's do another one. Oh, that one looks too easy. Let's do a harder one. Oh, there we go. Look at this bad boy. All right, this looks like some sort of diamond upside down. They want the area of the whole figure, I think. What's the area of the figure? Okay, this will be the last one we do then. All right, so the way I see it, there's a couple different ways you could look at it here. How about we look at this rectangle in the middle first? You see the right side of it labeled 4 millimeters. So that's its height, I guess. How about its base? The base would be, well, how far, I mean, how long is that bottom side or the top side? Well, it says 7 millimeters right there. That is supposed to be for the base of like this triangle right there. And another 7 millimeters for the base of this other triangle. So yeah, 7 plus 7 is 14. That will be the base of that rectangle, 14. So area of the rectangle will be base times height. Area is going to be 14 times 4. 10 times 4 is 40. 4 times 4 is 16, so 56 millimeters squared. All right, that's just the rectangle. Now, you could look at this as 4 more triangles if you wanted to. Or you could look at it as 2 more triangles. I will choose 2 more triangles because I think that's less work, the way I figure. So I'm looking at this as one giant triangle. If I'm going to look at that as one triangle, I need to know, I need to use that 7 plus 7 as my base again. So for this triangle, I'll do area is equal to, let's write the formula like this time, 1/2 times base times height. 7 plus 7 is going to be my base, and they give me my height of 11. Sorry, I covered it up a little bit there, but the area is going to be 1/2 times 7 plus 7, which is 14, times the height of 11. Okay, half of 14 is 7. So that's going to equal 7 times 11. 7 times 11 is 77. So 77 millimeters squared. For that whole big that whole big triangle up there. Now how about the bottom one? I already have my base. I'm going to use like the top of this as my base, 14. The area of the triangle is going to be 1/2 base times height. That's going to be 1/2 of 14 again. See, it has the same length base as the top triangle. 1/2 times 14, but the height is different. It's only 3 millimeters. So that's going to be 7 times 3, which is going to be 21 millimeters squared. Now, add them all up. We will have to add 56 from the rectangle plus 77 plus 21. Now be careful. Even I will make mistakes adding stuff like this up sometimes. 6 plus 7 plus 1, that's going to be 14. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. Let me double check that. 15, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 15. Okay, 1, 5, 4. All right, I think we get 154. To summarize, we got 56. Let me just do black. We got 56 millimeters squared for the rectangle in the middle. We got 77 millimeters squared for the triangle at the top, and we got 21 for that triangle at the bottom, which adds up to 154. 154. Check answer. Yes. All right, great. Well, I hope this video helped. You guys let me know if you have any questions. Remember, we have Math Zone Wednesdays at 3:30, Fridays at 1. All right, I'll see you soon.